Every single day I do an updated MVP race and we just reached day 50, so I thought a fun way to celebrate would be to rank every single team's most valuable player. Welcome back to Good Sports For You, where we are talking about good sports for you, and we are ranking every single team's MVP. And this isn't just based on WAR, this is based on a lot of things, on who I feel is bringing the most value to their squad, and I'm ranking them all. And with that being said, obviously it's only going to be one player per team. So if you think that you have a player on your team who's more valuable, make sure to leave it in the comment section down below. Let's hop right into it with player number 30. And for player number 30, I'm going to do the San Francisco Giants, and it's going to be Luis Arraez. What an interesting season for him. First of all, he's like broken out defensively. Ron Washington is honestly a worker of miracles considering what he has done on the defensive side of the ball for Luis Arraez. His batting has been solid. He's batting .302 with a 106 OPS plus, which is just pretty pedestrian for him. Honestly, it is what you come to expect for Luis Arraez, but the biggest thing has been that defense to put him at 1.4 baseball reference WAR, which is easily leading the San Francisco Giants. And then in 29th, we're going to have Josh Jung of the Texas Rangers. Really solid season for him. There were a couple of guys that I was looking at. Jacob deGrom, Evan Carter were definitely in. Brandon Nimmo is in the mix, but I decided to go with Josh Jung because he has been hitting at such a productive level. A 163 OPS plus, 1.3 WAR is close to leading the team. deGrom has a slightly higher WAR, but I just don't feel that deGrom has been as dominant as Jung has been. Just a very solid season for him right now, but only 5 home runs. I would love to see that get a little bit higher. And then in 28th, we're going to have, of the Arizona Diamondbacks, we're going to have Ildemaro Vargas. He was a guy that was in talks for like MVP early on in the season. He went on an insane hitting stretch to start off the season. He has slowed down a good bit, like I will say that. However, he has still been incredibly productive. He has a 155 OPS plus, 331 batting average. That's just so good. But the thing is, honestly, you could argue he's not even the MVP for his team. You can make an argument for Corbin Carroll. You can make an argument for Erod even, who's having a very good season. But honestly, it was between Corbin Carroll and Vargas. I decided to go with the slightly better hitter in Ildemaro Vargas. Coming up next, we're going to have the Colorado Rockies. We're going to have Mickey Moniak. He doesn't have the most WAR on the team. That's actually going to belong to Senzatella. He's having an awesome season on the pitching side of things. 1.6 WAR, 132 ERA in Coors. That's crazy. But I'm going with Mickey Moniak because he is one of 2 guys to be batting a 1 dot in the National League. He's leading the National League in OPS, not in OPS plus, but in OPS. So I feel that he is deserving of being the MVP for the Colorado Rockies. And then in 26, we're going to have CJ Abrams of the Washington Nationals. Just another very good season for him. He's a good ball player, and I'm tired of people acting like he isn't, because I guess he isn't the world's best defender. But when you're producing at the level that he is on offense right now, a 164 OPS plus from your shortstop, I don't really care if he's not a very good defender because of what he is doing at the plate. He's leading the Nationals in WAR right now quite handily, 1.6 compared to James Wood, who's at 1.3. And then moving on to 25, it's going to be the Chicago Cubs. I decided to go with Ian Happ. This was another team that had a couple of guys who could be in consideration. Right now, Pete Crow Armstrong is leading the team in WAR, but his bat just isn't the best in the world right now. It's only a 99 OPS plus, but obviously his defense is so elite. But Happ is just kind of your all-around great player. He has a 149 OPS plus, which is the second best on the team behind Michael Conforto, who hasn't even really played a lot. Nico Horner was also in the conversations because he's been putting up a lot of WAR, but he has certainly slowed down. And then moving on, we're going to have the Toronto Blue Jays moving into the 24th spot. This was between 2 pitchers for me. Their offense hasn't been fantastic. It was between Louis Varland and it was between Dylan Cease. I decided to go with Dylan Cease because of just pure volume and the innings pitched, right? He has a 2.41 ERA, which is fantastic. His strikeout rate is impeccable, 75 strikeouts so far, a 1.82 ERA plus. But Louis Varland deserves his props. An ERA of 0.42 with an ERA plus above 1,000. But like I said, I decided to go with Cease just because he's a starting pitcher, so I feel like he's providing more value there. At 23, we're going to have the Minnesota Twins. It's going to be Byron Buxton. What an awesome season for him, and I'm just hoping that he can stay healthy. He already has 1.6 WAR, which means if he were to keep this up, he would put up easily 6 WAR on the season, which would be by far his most in a season. He has a 145 OPS plus, already 15 home runs, and we know what he does with the glove. We know what he does when it comes to just pure speed. Just what a good player. Only 32 years old. He's still got some left in the tank, so shout out to Buxton. And then at 22, we're going to have Parker Messick, the rookie sensation for the Cleveland Guardians right now. He's just been so good. There are a couple of rookies on this squad that deserve a mention. Chase DeLoiter certainly was in the mix. He's just not providing a lot of defensive value right now, and his bat has started to slow down. But Parker Messick, just day in and day out, has been one of the best pitchers in all of baseball, quite frankly. He has been in the mix for my Cy Young. He's got a 2.35 ERA, 2.2 WAR, 176 ERA plus as a rookie, just doing a fantastic job. And then moving on for the Tampa Bay Rays in the 21 spot, we're going to have Nick Martinez, another starting pitcher who's been having a fantastic season for the Rays. This Rays team that has been incredible, just kind of out of nowhere, except against the Milwaukee Brewers. They weren't good against them. Love that, right? But Nick Martinez is leading the team in WAR with 1.9, and he has a sub-2 ERA at 170, a 246 ERA plus. He is just having a bang-up season. And then for the offense, there are a couple of guys I think that deserve to mention. Jonathan Aranda's really living up to what he did last year. Yandy Diaz is having a good season, but I decided, like I said, to go with Nick Martinez. Shout out my GOAT Chandler Simpson, though. He's putting together a really nice season as well. And then moving on to number 20, I'm going to go with the San Diego Padres, and I'm going with Mason Miller. He's a guy that it's like he doesn't have the WAR because he's a reliever, right? However, he has been so dominant with an ERA below 1, leading all of baseball with 13 saves, doesn't have a single loss on the season, 1.1 WAR, a 4.53 ERA plus. And there's nobody else who can really compete. You could argue Michael King. He has it, obviously, in terms of the innings pitched and stuff like that. But Mason Miller has just been so much more dominant than, quite frankly, anyone in baseball right now. He did have that one rough outing, and that is hurting his ERA, which is why he's a little bit lower than I think some would expect him to be. And then moving on to 19, we're going to have another reliever. We're going to have Rico Garcia. He has been the only bright spot of this Orioles team right now. You look at their starting rotation. Let me read out this WAR for you. 0.1, -0.3, -0.1, -0.2, -0.2, 0.1. And then Rico Garcia as a reliever has 1.3 with a 0.47 ERA with an 8.74 ERA plus. He was hitless for the longest time. He's only allowed 1 hit on the entire season. It was a solo home run. He has been basically untouchable and really the only good player on this Orioles team. And then in 18, we're going to have the Seattle Mariners with Randy Arozarena. Really nice season for the best to ever do it. I mean, 1.9 WAR. He's batting 300. He's just a good ball player. There's not much else to say. A 145 OPS plus. Just what a season from the guy. And then moving on to 17 for the Miami Marlins. This was absolutely brutal to pick. I was between top 3 guys. I was between Xavier Edwards, Otto Lopez, and Liam Hicks. They all have very valid arguments. Liam Hicks, he has 38 RBIs. That's leading all of the National League, and he's a catcher, right? He has a 148 OPS plus. However, he only has 1.5 WAR. Xavier Edwards is leading the National League in games played with a 313 batting average and a 150 OPS plus in 2 WAR. And then we have Otto Lopez, who's leading all of baseball in hits with a 339 batting average and a 145 OPS plus, also with 2 WAR. I decided to go with Otto Lopez because of also the positional value of being a shortstop, I think does help you out a bit. So to be a shortstop, hitting that well, You could definitely make an argument for any of the other players though, but just what a fantastic season by Otto Lopez. And then moving on at 16, we're going to have the Pirates with Paul Skeens. The reason Paul Skeens is this low is just because of his one blow-up start against the Mets to start off the season. Like, if it wasn't for that, his ERA would be just above 1 instead of just below 2. I mean, he gave up 5 runs without even getting out of the first inning in his first start of the season. But since then, he's had an ERA of 1.09 to bring his season ERA to 1.98. And moving on to 15, we're going to have the New York Mets. We're going to have Clay Holmes. What an awesome season. And I know that he just got hurt, which is like the biggest bummer in the world because he had an ERA below 2, well below 2, actually at 1.86. That means his ERA plus is 2.14, so he is just doing an awesome job, but he broke his fibula, I think is what it was. Yeah, so he's going to be out for a while. I have no idea how long it takes to heal a fibula, but it sounds like it's going to be a while. And then moving on to 14, we're going to have the Chicago White Sox, another pitcher. We're going to have Davis Martin. What a random breakout season, and he has been spectacular as a pitcher. 2.6 WAR with an ERA of 1.62, ERA plus of 265. He's just doing so good, but there are a lot of guys to mention on this White Sox team. Miguel Vargas, Colson Montgomery, Munetaka Murakami. I mean, all of these guys are contributing to a White Sox team that is now above 500. That's not something that I think that I would say in my lifetime could have happened, you know? But so shout out to them, especially to Davis Martin. I mean, a 5-1 record right now with what he is doing. He is leading this White Sox pitching staff to doing a real bang-up job. Moving on to number 13, it's going to be the Detroit Tigers with Kevin McGonigal. What a great season from the rookie at the shortstop position. Only 21 years old. He's batting .293 with a 400 on base percentage. He has more walks than strikeouts as a rookie. That is absurd to say. A 133 OPS plus. He has 7 stolen bases, 0 caught stealings. The only complaint for me right now is I'd like to see some more pop. He only has 2 home runs. But I mean, come on, as a rookie, what's there not to like? The other guy who is in consideration would have been Riley Green with his 156 OPS plus, but because of the positional value, I decided to go with Kevin McGonigal. Moving on to number 12, we have another shortstop, and now he is coming from the Cincinnati Reds. It's going to be Elly De La Cruz. What an awesome season for him, man. Already putting up 2 WAR. He's batting .299, easily his best batting average. His OPS plus is a 142, easily his best OPS plus. Yes, his strikeout numbers are still not what you want to see, but he has just been so good. A lot of people have been saying that he should be in my MVP poll, which I don't necessarily agree with right now, but you could certainly make an argument. Another guy that I got to mention, though, is Chase Burns. What a season for him right now. A 187 ERA, but I decided to go with Elly because I just feel that an everyday player provides some more value. Moving on to number 11, we're going to have the Los Angeles Angels. I'm going to go with Jose Soriano. He's got a 166 ERA, 2.7 WAR, 154 ERA plus, 61 strikeouts already. You can easily make an argument for Trout, who's already put up 2 WAR, already in double-digit home runs, and a 159 OPS plus, but I'm deciding to not go into the storyline. Jose Soriano has been the best and also most valuable player on this pretty poor Angels roster. And then moving on into the top 10, we're going to have the Philadelphia Phillies. We're going to have Kyle Schwarber. He has been on a tear, and I know that he just hit 2 home runs today, only adding to his value. But before then, he had 18 home runs, which was already leading all of baseball. He had a 163 OPS plus. The only thing that's holding him back from really cracking like the top 5 is just that he's a DH. That's really the only thing. You can make an argument for a couple other guys on this team. Brandon Marsh has been fantastic, leading all of baseball in batting average with 340. Christopher Sanchez as well has just been pitching so well with a 2.11 ERA, but I gotta go with the big slugger in Kyle Schwarber with a 965 OPS, which is only climbing. And then at number 9, we're gonna have the Boston Red Sox. So we're gonna have Wilyer Abreu. I think that he's been flying under the radar with how good of a season that he has been having, because first of all, he has an excellent defender. We're talking about a 2-time Gold Glove winner, back-to-back years. He's already put up 1 defensive WAR. Last season, he put up 1.3. Season before, he put up 1.3. So he's almost replicated all of his value defensively, and his hitting has been the best it's ever been with a 146 OPS plus. I mean, his WAR right now is leading all of the Red Sox at 2.5 quite handily. The next guy is Wilson Contreras, who is at 1.5. But like I said, Wilyer Abreu, just an absolutely fantastic season. Maybe that World Baseball Classic really awoke something in him. I don't know. But right now, he is number 9. And then moving on to number 8, I'm going to go with Yordan Alvarez, another DH. He's going to be the last DH that we have, though, but he has just been doing fantastic. A 2 WAR as a DH is just kind of absurd to say. He has a 198 OPS plus, leading all of the big leagues. His OPS is well into the 1 dots. He has 14 home runs, and he's playing every single day. 45 games, which is what this Astros team needed. One of the things that I said that the Astros should look forward to is getting Yordan Alvarez back. It's basically like going out and signing the best bat in free agency, just him being back on the roster. He's so good. One of the best hitters right now. Honestly, underappreciated and underrated. Moving on to number 7, we're going to have my guy, Brice Turang from your Milwaukee Brewers. He's already put up 2.2 WAR. He's hitting out of his mind. For Brice Turang, he's still a plus defender at second base. He's leading the National League in on-base percentage. That is something I would have never expected to see out of Turang. I mean, we're talking about a guy that last season struck out 150 times to 66 walks. This season, 31 walks to 35 strikeouts with a 422 on base percentage. And the power is still there. He already has 6 home runs, which is power for him. 8 stolen bases, a 163 OPS plus. Last season, he had a 120 OPS plus, and he finished 14th in MVP voting. This year, he is well on his way to finishing, honestly, top 10, maybe even top 5. Just shout out to Brice Turang, man. Moving on into the top 6, we're going to have Jordan Walker of the St. Louis Cardinals, a guy who honestly a lot of people, including myself, had written off. He was at negative 2.6 WAR to start off this season. Now he's at 0 WAR because he's put up 2.6. He has already brought his career back. A 170 OPS plus for a guy whose career OPS plus up until that point was 89. Just wow. What a season by Jordan Walker. He already has 12 home runs. Last season, he had 6, and the season before, he had 5. That's a full season between those 2 seasons, and he already has more home runs. This is, as a baseball fan, this is awesome to see. A guy who is such a highly rated prospect finally living up to the hype, finally making things click, and he's turning 24 in a couple of days, so he is still young. He still has so much room to grow, but he has been the catalyst for this shockingly good Cardinals team. And then moving on into the top 5, I'm going to have Bobby Witt Jr. for the Kansas City Royals. There's not much that hasn't been said about Bobby Witt Jr., one of the most well-rounded players, if not the most well-rounded player in baseball. He currently has 3 WAR, which is leading all of baseball right now. The only thing holding him back is his OPS is just a little bit worse than some of these other guys, and it's at 884. He only has 7 home runs. I mean, but he is, what a complete ball player. We're looking at him, 13 stolen bases already with a 306 batting average. I mean, he's so good. He's an excellent defender, 2-time Gold Glove winner, Platinum Glove winner, 2-time Silver Slugger winner. It doesn't get better than Bobby Witt Jr. in this stretch in his career, and he's already put up 3 WAR. You know, if you want to put him higher, you won't see me complaining. Like I said, I'm only putting him lower just because his OPS right now compared to some of these other guys is just not there. And then moving on into the top 4, I'm going with the Athletics of Northern California, Shea Langeliers. What a season by him. 2.3 WAR as a catcher with a 174 OPS plus. He's 1-dotting it right now. He has 12 home runs. He's batting .340 with 55 hits as a catcher. He's in the top 4 because of his value, like I said, as a catcher, and he is just crushing the baseball. If he was any other position, he would still be the most valuable player for his team, but he is this high up because he is doing it while crouching every single day. What a season by Shea Langoliers. And then moving on into the top 3, it's Shohei Ohtani. You could easily argue for him to be higher. Here's the thing. There are so many guys on this Dodgers team. Andy Pages would easily be probably in the top 10. Max Muncy would probably be in the top 30. But it's got to be Shohei. His hitting has been pedestrian by his standards, right? He has a 128 OPS plus. That's average. That's slightly above average. It could be an all-star level if you really squeeze the numbers. His power hasn't been there as much with only 7 home runs. He has 5 stolen bases. That's great. The pitching. It's the pitching. He's leading all of baseball in ERA by an absurd rate. 0.82. You remember how I was saying Mason Miller's been so good? Shohei Ohtani's ERA is better than Mason Miller, the closer who was untouchable to start the season. Shohei Ohtani has a better ERA than him right now. If you want to put Shohei number 1, by all means, you will not see me arguing. What he is doing is hitherto undreamt of. He's so good, but there are a couple of guys that I feel are more valuable to their team right now. And in number 2, it's going to be Matt Olson of the Atlanta Braves. The Braves are back in a big-time way, first in the East, first team to 30 wins, and it's led by Matt Olson. He's having a fantastic season. The discourse online right now has been, is he a Hall of Famer? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's only 32 years old. He's an Iron Man. He's played 162 games for the past 4 years in a row. He's leading the National League in games played right now. He has 15 doubles leading all of baseball. He has a 181 OPS plus, which is leading the National League. OPS is one dotting it at just over 1,000. Wow, what a season from him. And also, the thing that puts him a cut above some of the other players is his defense. He is one of the best defensive first basemen that we have seen ever, and right now he's just putting that to show, and that is what is keeping him afloat, is honestly that defense is what's putting him above like the Shoheis, the Shea Langoliers, the Bobby Witt Jr.'s of the world. His fantastic offense combined with his plus defense. What a season by Matty O. And then in first place from the New York Yankees, it's going to be Aaron Judge. He's having a fantastic season. If you want to argue Ben Rice, if you want to argue Cam Schlittler, if you want to argue Cody Bellinger, you could argue it, but it's got to be Aaron Judge. I mean, he has a 181 OPS plus. His WAR is 2.6. He has 16 home runs, leading the American League. He has 36 runs, leading the American League. He's just so good. If I had to put in a vote for American League MVP right now, it would be Aaron Judge. If you had to put in a vote of MVP of the whole entire league right now, it would be Aaron Judge. He was able to keep the team afloat through injuries, and I know that they're dealing with more of them, so he's just got to be even more of this catalyst. And that is every single team's most valuable player, ranked from least valuable to most value. I hope you enjoyed. If you made it this far in the video, please consider dropping a like, commenting, subscribing, whatever it may be. Make sure to leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. But that is all I got. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a great day, and I'm out. Peace.